Hey everybody, my name is Inflamed, and I'm going to be showing you how to get the MyHouse.Chom Chomik. I'm going to be showing you everything with all explanations for every single puzzle, and I'm going to be also giving you tips for the ending. Without further ado, let's get right to it. So basically, this is a die Chomik. It is the Squid Game's difficulty, and it is pretty hard. So when you look at it, it'll ignore that. A hint says hidden in the Backrooms. So I'm just gonna assume you know how to get to the Backrooms, but if not, there is a sign leading you all the way over there. So I'll just catch you in the Backrooms. So, when you go to the Backrooms, you're gonna be looking for a set of 3 slides. You'll spawn in level 0, and all you have to do is head towards the right after going forward a little bit. So just follow exactly where I go down this hallway, and you'll see the first slide. There's actually 3 slides here, like I said before, and you're going to want to go down the green one, not the one with the arrows. Then you're going to go over here, go to the left, and then you're going to end up seeing a little doorway over here. Go through that. Continue on, and then you'll end up seeing a door frame with the door kicked down. See that, and you just have to go through here, and then jump down this little hole. Go up here. Continue through. Ignore all the little lore, and then jump down this. Here, you're going to be looking for 2 things. A tape, and then a VHS player. So to find the tape, go over here. Make it jump over here. Go down this way. And then you'll see in the back of this little, like, area thing. I don't know what to call it. You'll see a tape. Click on it, and then you'll see it's in your inventory. Now go back, and we're now going to go look for the VHS player. So all you have to really do, it's actually really simple. You just have to go back to where you started, and then go behind this. You can just go here, here, and then here is the VHS player. So you have to click on the tape in your inventory, hold it out, and then hit insert tape. It'll say error, then a little bit of dialogue, and a countdown. And then now you're in the deeper abyss. As you can tell, this is based off of MyHouse.wad, which is a popular Doom mod released in 2023. I actually don't know much about it itself, but I know it's pretty unsettling. And so you're going to spawn in here, and you're going to look over, walk towards the shed in the distance, and you're going to collect the lockpick inside, because you can't actually enter the house until you get the lockpick. So you're just going to go walk in here, click on it, and then now you can go walk over to the house. So, you're going to want to familiarize yourself with this area, because there is a lot of times that you're going to be in here. You're probably going to have to do this multiple times. To enter the house, you have to click when this thing goes in the green zone. So just do that. And then boom, you can enter. And then now you're inside the house. So, you're going to be looking for 2 things. Pieces of wood to repair a broken ladder, and notes to help you solve a puzzle. So I'm going to put all the note locations up on the screen now. But it's also best that you just familiarize yourself with the house and look for them right now. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to go in here. Here's the kitchen, and then in here is the bathroom. You have to click on that piece of wood, and then go back. And then you have to go over here. go inside to the garage, and then walk over to this and hit E repair. Hit E to repair. You're gonna go over here, click on the second piece of wood, and then do the same thing. What we're doing right now is actually repairing the ladder so we can later climb on top. Also, I forgot to mention, you're gonna want to get this key right here. You're gonna click on it, and you're gonna go walk down here, and be able to open this door now. There is nothing in here in particular, except one of the notes is there, so you're gonna click on that in the case that it's there for you, and you're gonna walk down this. Oops, set up my graphics quality higher. Set your graphics quality to as high as possible. Ooh, actually I got lucky. Both of my notes were down here. Then you're gonna walk into this vent, and you'll see this TV. Now, if you don't have both of the notes, then you won't be able to solve this puzzle, but since we do, I can just go right ahead, hit E to use. And so what this is there's two knobs. The top one is for the frequency, which will be shown right where my mouse is. And then the bottom one is for the polarity. Now, if you have both notes, it should look like this, where you see two notes on the screen and each will have a number on them. So my polarity should be 212 degrees. So I'm going to go rotate the knobs by clicking on the 100 button. And then clicking it twice, so it's 200. Clicking on the 10 button once, and then twice on the 1 button. You're going to need to do this to whatever amount you actually get on your notes, because it's randomized. But the same method will apply. And then you have to do the same for the frequency. So my frequency is 205. Yours may be different. I'm going to click twice on the 100 and then 5 times on that. And now you're going to see a set of numbers. What this is it's the code for the safe. And the way it works is that it'll list the number for each one for all. It'll list the number you enter for the first digit, the second digit, so on for the 8th digit, for all 8 digits. So I'm gonna write it down in chat. So I'm just gonna write 6, 4, 6, 8, 9, and then I got a little lost. You're gonna want to take your time with this. 6, 4, 6, 8, 9, 3, 2, 3. So now what you're gonna do, you're gonna go over here, select the key, walk over here, select the wood, and then boom. Now you're gonna go walk over to the safe. Once you've done that, you're gonna go make sure you have your code with you. I wrote it down. So my code is 6, 4, 6, 8, 9, 3, 2, 3. So the way this safe works is you're gonna wanna click the plus button to go increase the number. So I have 6. You're going to hit the top button to move to the next digit. And then you're going to click the minus button to go down. So I can go again, since my next number is 6, I'm going to go up 6. Minus twice to get to 8. Minus once to get to 9. Go again to get to 3. 2. 3. Next, once you put the code in, you're going to hit E, and then it'll start rotating. So you know you've entered the correct code when the knob rotates, or the wheel rotates. It'll say, I should come back here later. Now, you're going to go out, go over to the hallway, walk over here, and repair. Next, what you're going to have to do is actually go out of the house. That's why it says I should come back here later. You're going to have to pick the lock again. Whoops. Excuse me. Walk out. A noise will play. And then now you can walk back in. Power will go out, don't be alarmed. But what this will do is it will unlock the next room. As you may have noticed, this room used to not have anything in it, but now when I go into it, it's a room with a computer. It's a full room and there's lots of stuff in it. What you want to do is walk over here, click on the wood, go up, over here. Now you have all the pieces to repair the ladder with. So you can hit repair again, and then this time, climb up. There's a lot of stuff here, but you don't have to worry about any of that. You have to go through this door, and then there's a lot of stuff in here, so I'll break it down. Okay, welcome to run 2. So, there's a lot to uncover here. First, you can go over here. This is the power box. You're going to take this off by clicking and dragging, and then knocking it over. And here's a little lights out puzzle. So the way this works is that you're going to have to try and get all of these lights on the left lit up at once. And the way you're going to do that is by clicking these buttons, and then kind of just clicking around and seeing what works. So, it might take me a bit. And there we go. So that turns on the power now. Next, what you're going to do, you're going to go walk over here, and you're going to read this. So, the colors correspond to the safe, and it's the same mechanism as earlier. And then it says, the computer will tell you the first 4 letters. Look in the box in the room for the second part. What this is referring to is it's saying that the code will be split up into 2 parts for this safe. The first half will be done with the computer, which I'll show you in a second, and the second half will be done with another method, which I'll show you after. So, after walking around, you'll see this. It says, a tale as old as the creation of the Chomniverse tells. He who lets go of the start will be the only to progress and find their way home. Signed, your friend. What this means is that you actually have to delete the normal Chomik badge. Because he who lets go of the start, which is referring to the first Chomik, aka normal Chomik, will be the only to progress and find their way home. And so, to go around, you have to go around over here. And then once you have done that, you can press this button right here. So, since in my case, I haven't deleted it yet, I will get a red exclamation mark. But, once I've deleted it, give me a second. Once I've deleted it, it turns into a check mark, and it'll play a sound. What that has done is now unlocked a part in the computer room from downstairs. So our next step is to go downstairs. Go to the computer room. And now here is the first part of the code. So the way this puzzle works is as follows. Basically, it's going to play a set of beeps 4 times. And the way it's going to work is each set could be a different amount of beeps. So for instance, it could play 1 beep, then like 5 beeps, 7 beeps, 2 beeps. It's randomized, and it's randomized each time you join. And to show you what I mean, I'm just going to hit E to play, and then I'll record a slowed down version of this. So, my code was 1849, and you're going to want to write whatever code you get down so you don't lose track of it. Next, what you're going to do is you're going to go walk over to this box, hold W, and then go in. You're going to fall down into this room with a projector screen and a projector. And you're going to walk over to this computer, you're going to click on it. It says, guess the place. And as you can tell, it's literally just Geoguesser, but in Find the Chomiks. And the way it's going to work is you're going to have to just guess the place by clicking on the computer screen and then typing it in. So, instead of making you guess it on your own, I'm going to actually put up an image of all the possible answers with their corresponding images, and you can just see from there whatever you need to do. So my code is 4763, and you're going to want to write that down. You want to go in this box, you'll end up in the computer room, and then you're going to go back up to the safe. Once you've reached the safe, you're going to want to input your code. So my code is 1 8 4 9 4 7 6 3. Now that I put it in, it turns, and then it should open. It says, and still nothing. So what that implies is you can now go outside of the house. But before that, I'm going to give you a tip. You're going to want to go down into the basement. So go down here, into the basement again. Open the door. And you should see now that the planks that were here before are no longer there. You can go in and grab this thing, which is the UV light. And to show what it does is instead of once you unequip F, you can then click G to have the UV light. And what this does, it can reveal hidden messages or hints. So we're now going to go outside of the house. A noise should play, and then you can now go back in. So, upon re-entering the house, there is going to be two things that you'll notice. So first, the power has gone out, so you're going to go back up to the attic and repair that. And then once you've repaired that, you're going to go back down. Then you're going to go head to the bedroom. And then once you've head to the bedroom, you'll notice that this right here looks very odd compared to whatever that rug is. And if you actually mess around for a bit, you can realize that this bookshelf is pushable. And then when you knock it over or move it over, it reveals a hole right here. So if you want to move the bookshelf out of the way fully, you can crouch and then push backwards. Oh, and then I fell down the hole. And now there's a door here. Welcome to run 3. So you're going to open up this door. And then boom, you're in run 3. So, welcome to run 3. This part of the puzzle is very non-linear, to say the least. There's a lot of different routes you could go, although there is a little bit of a maintained path. So, I'm going to be walking you through the most optimal route to get everything done, I think, at least in my opinion. And I'm going to be giving you some tips. So, firstly, if you look in the top left corner of your screen, you might notice that of my screen, you might notice that my timer is at 5 minutes. This is because I reset after reaching run 3. You don't have to do this, and you shouldn't do this, but in case you need to reset, you can, and it'll let you save your progress up to run 3, aka like this area. So if you get soft locked, don't leave, just reset. Okay? Secondly, I'm just gonna walk you through this part. So you should always try and familiarize yourself with this. Try and explore everything except water. What I mean by that is this little vent right here. If you go down there, you will get soft locked in a way, and it's not fun because you can't really see. It'll blind your vision, and you won't be able to see anything. So with those 2 tips out of the way, let's get straight to it. So the first thing you're gonna need to do is go over to this door. And you're going to need to unlock footsteps. So, you have to go and click on all these doors. Whoops. And then you might notice that the door is now gone. So, the only option you're left with doing is going down here, and you're going to ignore everything over here. And you're instead going to go into this door, and you're going to be teleported. And what you're going to have to do here is, you're going to have to walk down the corridor. Once you get to the wall, you're going to have to turn around. Walk down to the end of the other corridor. Walk down through, and then walk through this wall. Now you have unlocked what's called footsteps, and this unlocks a few more options to explore. So go through the door, and you now can exit the room because the door is back. Okay, so the next thing we're gonna do the infamous Jordan's puzzle. So we're gonna go through here, and you see this frame. Because we unlocked footsteps, we can now go through the teleporter here. You're gonna walk through, and I'm gonna show you something. If you want to exit, you're gonna have to go through this, and you're gonna have to tap W like this. Because if I walk through it, let me show you. It'll teleport me right back there. But if I walk through it slowly, it brings me back here, and I can go back to the main room. So, continuing on, we're going to go through here. There's a lot of stuff here. And you can just go up. If the door has a red light on it, it means you cannot enter it. And you should not try lockpicking it because it will soft lock you if you succeed, and you really shouldn't try. So we go through here, and it says you are a failure on the board. If you turn on your UV light, it says as a stream of music guides you. And now if we go in this area and walk over here, there's a few things. It says, the answer lies on the web. Find and create your key. So, when I go over here, it'll load the Chomko browser. What you're gonna do is you're gonna click on the folder, and there's a door system. So, you could input the code here, which is for all time, but I will be explaining how we got that. So, when you click on the sticky note, it'll lead you to a page titled sorrynotsorry.chom. And I'm going to be moving to paint.net to explain this puzzle now. Okay, so, like before, this is the sorrynotsorry.chom page. Each image is an image of a shoe, and each image is connected by an arrow. Each of these shoes, when you look it up, is actually a Air Jordan shoe, and each of them have their own model. So this first shoe is the Air Jordans 2. This next one's the Air Jordan 7, and then the Air Jordans 11, Air Jordans 4, and so on. So, when you map it all out, you have like the 2, the 7, the 11, the 4, the 8, etc. You get these numbers. Now, earlier, the hint was as a stream of music guides you, and the other hint was the answer lies on the web, create and find your own key. And so what that hints to is creating a Spotify QR code, aka a Spotify barcode, is what they're called. And so, the length of the lines, there's 23 lines, and the length of them is corresponding to the number. So the first line will be 2 long. Next one will be 7 long, 11 long, and so on. And so, when you map them out, because each of these has 23 lines, and you map each number to each line, and you scan the code, it'll take you to For All Time by Michael Jackson, which is how you get the code. Okay, so once you put in the code, you can close out of this, and then you can go here, click the start button, and then click log off. Now, turn around and go back out the door. We will be doing the second puzzle out of 5 now, and it's quite tedious. It is the mirror puzzle, as you will see. So, go up these stairs. I think it's 5 levels, I'm pretty sure. Or flights, I mean. And then now, go through here, and you are now at the mirror puzzle. So, the way this puzzle works is you're going to have to press E to shoot this laser, and it's going to bounce off of these mirrors, and then eventually hit that target, that bright red target over there. And so, I'm just going to be showing you the order once I solve this. I'll be right back. Okay, so your mirrors should be like this. This mirror should be diagonal. It should bounce off of this one. This mirror should be filled, so you're going to have to click this button to make sure that it's filled. It'll bounce to this one, then to this. Then, you're going to have to move this one over here by clicking the plus button, so it should be over to the left. And then it'll bounce off of this one, which you're then going to have to make sure that this mirror is aligned exactly like this. So almost diagonal, but not exactly. So that way it can bounce off to this one. Then, it's going to bounce off to this, and it's going to go through this mirror. So make sure that this one is empty. And that this one is diagonal. Exactly diagonal. It'll then bounce off. Make sure that you've moved this one from this spot all the way over to here. So it should be to the back left. And then it will bounce to this one, which should be perfectly flat. You should rotate this to be perfectly flat. And then this one, you're going to have to move it up from here. And it should be tilted like this, so almost diagonal. And then this one, it'll bounce off to this one, which you're going to have to make sure is filled by pressing the fill button on the back. Then it'll go here. And then it'll go to this one, which should be rotated one past diagonal. And then it'll bounce into there. So there is the mirror puzzle. Okay, so you should know that the mirror puzzle is complete when it says something has moved down at the bottom of your screen. So then you go here, go back down the stairs. You're gonna skip the first door that it seems like you can go in, and instead go down to the second door that you can go in. You're gonna go down, keep on going. You're not gonna go down this door, and instead, you're gonna go all the way back down. And you're gonna go through here. Go into this portal slowly. And then boom. We're now gonna go back to here, through here. And then now we have to unlock this keypad. Okay, welcome to the radio puzzle. So, the way this works is there's this radio right here, and there's a hint. And when you click the radio, it's going to give you a series of 3-digit numbers. And you're not going to know what to do with them at first, but there's this hint right here. It says, the monster is a mangled mess. It takes an abstract appearance. And then it has this little, image thing. And this is actually referring to a mathematical concept called the Collat's conjecture, which I'll show you right now. So, what this is, it's a mathematical concept where it's called also the 3n+1 conjecture. And so the Coolest conjecture, also known as the 3n+1 problem, states that applying the 3n+1 algorithm to any positive integer will always end up with the number 1. And it's unproven to this date. It's simple to say, but it's really hard to prove. And so the example is n equals 10. 10 is even, divide it by 2 and get 5. 5 is odd, multiply it by 3 and add 1 to get 16. Continue the sequence to get 8, 4, 2, and then 1. And so what you have to do with the numbers that you're given is actually calculate the amount of steps it takes to go from your original number to the number 1. So my first number was 332. And if I click calculate here, it's going to say it took 112 steps to reach 1. So it was 113 numbers in total, or steps in total. And you're going to need to add all of these numbers up into a code, because you're going to have to do this to every digit, every 3-digit number that you have. So I'm going to paste mine into this box right here. And when I hit run, it's going to spit out these numbers. And so if I go back to Roblox and copy this code, and I put this into the keypad, 113, 123, 104, 38, 7439, 38, 36, and then I hit the enter button, it'll open this door. And so that's the radio puzzle. Okay, so now you're in this room. There's this door here, and down here, there's a little pool, and when you go inside, there's a computer. I'm going to skip this for now, and I'm going to go show you the other puzzle that you can encounter. So if we go back up, and we walk through this door, walk down this hall, through here, and go to the second last door, it takes us to this room, which has a lot of stuff in it, but most importantly, it has 2 things. 1, the cellar key, you're going to need later. And 2, this little, like, hole thing. And if you walk through this, you'll end up falling into this area, which will have a key on the ground in one of these little, like, nooks. And the key, it says, found the neighbor's key. And so what this is referring to is there's actually a second house on the street. And you can actually, there's a door behind on the side of the house. So if we walk over here, and then, so if you go through this door, climb through this vent, you'll be taken back to the basement, which is actually flooded now, as you remember from earlier. So we go down here, go out, head over to the front door, and don't fail the lockpicking. We're now outside. So you're gonna want to go through this gap in the fence, walk along this path, or not path, but like walk along the house. And then now you can enter this door that was previously locked. And this takes you to the soccer puzzle. Okay, welcome to the soccer puzzle. So, there's a lot to digest here, but there's these 7 notes, each of them having 7 5-digit numbers except for the last one. There is one must unlock the records with what's been given as a hint. There's the UK flag. There's a hint saying these numbers seem strange, and even when you make meaning out of them, there is more. The official tells you of its history. odd equals empty, even equals filled. The home always matters, repeated 7 times, and then this image right here with a bunch of cones in it. So you kind of have to like break it down into little parts. So obviously the UK flag and us being on a soccer field means that it's talking about UK soccer. These numbers right here, it's being referred to as one must unlock at the records with what's been given. So you gotta unlock something with these is what it's implying. And the note over here saying the official tells you of its history, it's actually referring to something that not a lot of people would think of. It's referring to the one and only Premier League, which is the official of UK soccer. So, if I were to take one of the numbers from the notes and do match / then that number, it'll take me to the match tab, or like the match information for that match ID. And so there's a lot of information here, but what you have to focus on actually is the home score. And why? It's because there's a message saying the home always matters, and it was repeated over. So it's referring to the home team. And we know that you need to get numbers out of this because it says these numbers seem strange, and then there's a keypad. And what you need to think about actually is that if you record down the scores for all of these, so 2, and then there's next one. Home score was 2. So on. If I would do it for this, the home score was 2. And actually, for all of these, it's 2. So it's just 7 2s. If we think about the note that says odd equals empty, even equals filled, you got to think about this as binary in a way. And the reason why is because, like, the home score, it's either even or odd, and you can rewrite that into binary. So I could write 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 because even would be filled, aka 1 in binary, because 1 in binary is when the thing is filled, and then 0 would be if the score was odd. But for this one, all of them are 1s. And so to learn what we have to do with this, we have to go back to this image right here. So there's 7 cones and they are ordered. And so the way it works actually is that this path, it's the first cone, second cone, third cone, fourth cone, fifth cone, sixth cone, and seventh cone. And it actually vaguely resembles a 7-segment display. And so to show you what I mean, I'm just going to go back to the, I'm going to go to 7-segment display. And if I were to write 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 and decrypt, it gives me an 8. And the reason you do this is because you can rewrite the scores as 7-bit binary, and that's how 7-segment displays are encoded. And so if I were to do this if I were to go through here and get the match IDs for all of these numbers, and then check if the home score was even, and then if so, make it write a 1, otherwise write a 0, I'd get 7 7-digit binary strings. And then I could go and decode that, and it would get me numbers. And the numbers it gets me are 8 0 3 8 1 8 8. And so you can just go put that in the keypad, and then you're done. So I write 8 0 3 8 1 8 8. Something moved. So after you finish the soccer puzzle, you can head back to the house, go to this door, go over the fence, and head straight back to the house. Go down here, go back into the hole. We then go over here, actually, this vent. And we go down into this area. End up in this room. And we can go through this door. And you might remember this section. This is the same section we had to go through to get to the soccer key. So go up this. Go through here. Oops. Careful, because this is really annoying. Once you've gone through that, go through these doors. And then welcome to the quote-unquote babble room. So, obviously this is a puzzle, and I'm just going to go head over to paint.net to explain this. So, we have an image with a bunch of Arabic numerals, like these actual symbols right here, and then numbers written in Arabic. And so firstly, if you just translate this part right here, you're going to get the numbers 6, 0, 1, 9, 5, 2, 9, 5, 4, 9, 5, 8, 9, 5, 8, 2, 6, so on. And so, what you want to do, actually, is you're going to go look over to this thing, and you're going to look for the Arabic numeral that has that represents 6. So the Arabic numeral that represents 6 is right here, this little L-shaped thing, because it's upside down. And if you look closely, you'll actually see there's a number on it. There's an English numeral on it. And so if you write down we would write down a 2, because there's an English numeral on this that says 2. And if we were to do that for every number, so if I go to 0, so we go here. This is the Arabic symbol for 0, and then there's a 0 written on it, so we'd write a 0. Then for the 1, we'd go to this symbol right here, which is 1, and it has an 8 written on it, and we'd write an 8, and we do that for every number. We'd get this string of numbers, and if we reorder it and space it out, or not reorder it, but if we space it out slightly, we can A1Z26 it to get the code the open exit sesame. So your code is going to be the open exit sesame. And boom. Okay, so just follow me. You're going to go back through this door. And go down this hall. And then boom, now you're back in the main room. After you've done that, there is only one rather large puzzle. So as you might remember, earlier when we went down here, there was this computer right over here. And it says enter password to play. Now, to find the password, actually all you have to do is go back out. And then there's this funky clock thing. And it's obviously not a regular clock because there's like 6 hands or 5 hands. And to explain that, I'm just going to go to paint.net. And basically, if you look at this clock and you were to overlay it with a 26 segment circle and assign each segment from clockwise to be A, B, C, D, E, F, G, so on for the entire alphabet, and then look where the hands go, this hand goes to B, because B is right there. This hand goes to Y, because it goes right here. And then these two hands, they go to S. And also there is a hand right here that goes to A. I forgot to mention that. So basically this spells out abyss. So if we go back and hit enter to play, it says solve 10 puzzles on a time limit. Unfocusing on the client sets the timer to 0. Good luck. So before we go into this, I'm just going to put up all the answers on the screen. Because it is randomized and there's, I think, 6 to 8 questions. So what you want to do is you're going to enter Abyss, and then you're just going to go and answer the questions using the little guide I gave you. So just try and memorize them. First question, what chomik are you doing? MyHouse.Chom. There is absolutely nothing important. HE capitalized, L, capitalized P, capitalized help. How many puzzles are there? There's 8. What device did you find? What device did you use on run 2? Computer. What is this based on? MyHouse.wad. What device did you first use? Computer. Where did you come from? Level 0, because that's where you came from in the backrooms. Computer again. Hatch unlocked. So it says hatch unlocked, and you might be wondering what hatch. So if you walk over here, there is a bunch of exit signs right here, but there's nothing there. But actually, there is an exit. If you just walk right through, it's Can Collide Falls, so you can just walk right through. And then here's a hatch that has been unlocked by completing the computer puzzle. So if we go down the hatch, we'll now end up in a forest area, which is far off from the house. And if we keep on walking, kind of creepy, we'll eventually stumble upon this little, like, nook. Or not nook, but, like, area. And if you look closely, there's actually a computer there. So if I walk up to it and then click on this, it will go through the whole loading shenanigans. And then it has these buttons. Click password. You don't know the password. Same for this. But if you look closely, the B is underlined. The Y is underlined here. The R is underlined here, and the G is underlined here. And what this means, it's referring to the colors. So blue, yellow, red, green. And if you actually scroll down on this, keep scrolling, you'll find My House Explorer 123, which looks pretty creepy. And obviously you need a password, so you can just go put in blue, yellow, red, green, the shorthand for that. Hit enter. Click on it. It'll do a password check. And then it is logging in. So now we're in the Chomko browser. And there's a lot here. So, first off, there's this log.txt. It's just some lore. There's nothing here that helps. And then there's this command.exe, so a command prompt. It says type command here, i.e. help. So if we write help, commands help explorer run file.exe, a way to search should help, but with what? And what that's referring to, it's actually hinting towards you writing explorer run, and then putting, for the file, you'd write browser.exe because you search with the browser. That's the same thing you do on the Chomko computer. So if I click on this, it'll start playing a little wind-up noise. A second. And then boom, it opens up a browser. And it says, go to chomko.chom/introduction. Or no, chomko.chom #introduction. Okay, so now we're kind of lost, except if we log off and we go to this, we read this, it says somewhere below the original house, you can no-clip into a corner next to a bookshelf. The puzzle lies there. There is a funky shelf and a weird frame in front of it. And so this is actually referring to an area that I have not yet shown you guys. So if we go back into this portal, and we go through here, and we go back here, we go back to the main room, there is something in this room down here that I have not shown you yet. If we go here, it'll lead you down a little corridor, which goes through this little tunnel thing. And then there is this little frame And it's there's this note, but it's referring to a funky shelf. And so if I were to go through there, it just leads me into this room, which has a lot of stuff in it. It has this grid of letters. And it has this note. It says, a resemblance to a 1984 creation will help you. And it has this little like frame thing with letters on it. So there's a B, there's a U, an M, an H, and an F. And yeah, there's a lot to this, but I'm just gonna hop over to paint.net. So firstly, if we were to look back at the grid, and we were to write down all of the letters based off of the grid, we would get like these letters in this shape. And if we go to this hint, it says a resemblance to a 1984 creation will help you. And it has this thing. And if you look at this, one of your first intuitions might be that it kind of looks like Tetris pieces. I mean, this is the 2x2 block right here, a hero. This right here, these squares, that's the orange Ricky. This is the right here, these four, that's the squiggle one, and then right here is the long one, and here's the Tiwi right here. And so obviously these are Tetris shapes because Tetris was actually created in 1984, and that's what it means by a resemblance to a 1984 creation will help you. Because these things represent Tetris pieces. But to know what you have to do with them, you have to notice something first. You see how there's like this one cuts off really short, but this one spans like the whole block? That's intentional. And so each one of these has a little gap somewhere. So right here, this block, let me make my color red. Oh, okay. You see this thing right here? That's the gap. This thing right here, there's a gap right here. Right here, there's a gap. Right here, there's a gap. And right here, there's a gap. So, you might also notice that these letters are all letters in this table. So if I were to place, let's say, like, copy the shape here and put it on the corresponding letter. So there's a B here with this shape. If I were to fill out that exact shape here, I'd get this. But that doesn't necessarily work out. That doesn't make sense, because if you were to do that for everything, it wouldn't fully work out or spell anything. So instead, you have to start over here and do it with the F. Or you can actually start with the H. So if I start with the H, go here, make this box. Okay, well, to use the gaps, we'd actually like circle the X right here. Because that's the empty part. That's indicating something. And then if I were to use this F right here, and I couldn't, since we had to follow the rules of Tetris, 2 blocks cannot be inside of each other. I'd have to make this F that goes like this. I mean that goes like, sorry, excuse me. It goes like this. I'd have to go like this. So up, here, there. And it's referring to this square right here, which would be the L. Now let's do it for the B. So the B, I could go like this to cover as much ground as possible, because you have to cover every square. The B can go like that, and the I would be circled because that's what corresponds to the gap right over here. Same for the F, I would just do it like this. And then I would circle the R. Then I could do it for the U down here because there's a 4x1 piece here. And I'd circle the U because that's what corresponds to the gap. And if you do that for every single corresponding letter, every B, every U, every M, every H, and every F, you'll get this. And if you circle the parts that would correspond to the little gaps or like blank pieces, I would call them, where basically it should be filled but the square isn't filled, you get the phrase URL 6 stud using red clock type. So that's a lot. That is very much a lot, and it kind of doesn't make sense. I mean, URL 6 stud, I guess that makes sense. Using red clock type? What red clock? But actually, if we just go back to the game, and we go out, there is a red clock somewhere, excuse me, that we can use. So if we go back here, we, we go through, we go through this, and we go back up. There is a, ooh, sorry, wrong way. I went the wrong way. There is a red clock somewhere. So if we go here, go back to the same path where we found the neighbor's key. There's this red clock. That's the only clock that's red. This clock is black. This clock is like distinctly a different shade, and it's red. And if you see, I'm hovering over it actually, and my mouse is getting bigger. That means that you can interact with the clock. So if I were to just spam click right now, right here, you see, if the clock falls off. And you can drag it by holding on it. But where would I take this, though, is the question. So if I were to go back, take this with me, go all the way back, keep on holding it. Oh, whoops. Okay, yep. Go back down here to the forest. Okay. Oh, why can't I uncrouch? Okay, there we go. Keep on going down here. Make sure that the red clock is with me. And I go down this. Now, as you can see right here, here's the red clock. Keep on ringing it. We're gonna walk over to the PC. Because, as you might remember, it did say URL 6 stud, so that's referring to the URL or the link, which you can put in the browser. Using red clock type. So, oh my. Okay, so, I'm just gonna lay this down here, and then I'm gonna explain this next puzzle. Okay, so, we have this clock now, right here. And if I turn on the UV light, you might notice that there's actually a bright purple line there. So just keep that in mind, and it says, don't you remember? So if we look at this clock, and then we're gonna go into the browser. We go explorer run browser.exe. It's gonna wind up. And if I were to go, if we remember correctly, it said URL 6 stud using red clock type. So if I were just to type 6stud.chom, it would take me to this website. I can't click on anything, nothing happens. And like, you can look around, there is nothing on this website. But if I log off and go back to the clock, it is now in a different position than before. So if we gotta obviously record that. So you want to take a screenshot of that. Then if we were to go back, Type 6stud.chom again. Nothing happens. Except if I were to log off, the clock's now in a different position again. So I'd record that, do it again. As it's hinting, don't you remember, it's hinting that you have to do it over and over again because you need to remember the clocks. So I go back, and if I were to keep on doing this, and I'd get the following times. Paint on it. So if I were to do this, I would get a bunch of times. And if I were to map out these times, or draw them, as by drawing the clock hands, you'd get this. So like, the first time I think is 9:30. And that corresponds to red being the hour hand there. Blue being the, what's it called? Blue being the minute hand. And then I do that for the next one. And I'd keep on doing that until the entire thing repeats. So after this one, it would just repeat. So this whole sequence is every clock hand, because the clock hand changes, and if you were to map out the changes or draw them, it would give you this whole sequence. Then, if you were to split this in the middle, it would get you this. And like, if you put the top one, put the first one on top and the second one on the bottom, it would give you this. There's no hint really indicating this, so it was just trial and error to figure this one out. But when you do that, you get something that kind of resembles numbers. And if you squish it together, you'll get 703119131. And now we have a code. 703119131. So yeah, that was a big stretch, but it took a while to be solved, but it is possible. And you might be wondering, what do we do with this code? Well, if we were to write it in the URL, 730119131.chom, nothing happens. There's no keypads. There's no, there's none of that. There's no keypads anywhere or like any place to enter it. Like, you could try all these different things. So, if there is nothing you can really do, except if you were to go to 6stud.chom and then type on your keyword, and I mean by hitting the 7 key, the 0 key, the 3 key, the 1 key, the 1 key again, the 9 key, the 3 key, and then before hitting the 1 key, you type it and then you quickly log off, and then hitting enter, it should say something has moved. Something has opened, actually, in this case. And what that means is there is now the 5 out of 5 door is now open. Or the 4 out of 5 door, because we have solved every puzzle now. So if we go back and go to the vent, and you see, this door is now knocked down. So if we were to go through, this is it, is what it says. The safe wouldn't just move again after all this, right? Is what the dialogue says. But there's a safe code. And how do we get it? Well, right here, it says you have 1 shot at this. If you die, you have to restart from run 3, so prepare. But to find the safe code, we actually have to refer back to something that I haven't shown you yet as well. So if we were to go back to the forest, so simply just go here, go up this, go through this again, because we want to take the shortest way possible, and go through these doors. Back to the Arabic puzzle. Go through this. And then go down this little hole. And then into the vent. Or not into the vent. Into the forest hatch. you might notice something. So, when we go back, there's actually this little gap area right here, and there's a car. And if you look right by it, it says Nexus.Chom. And so, if you remember, that's the same URL type as the 6.chom and all the other .chom links. So we can go back to the PC, and if we were to type in Nexus.Chom, it'll take us to a website. So, I'm going to go to Nexus.Chom. It would say pick one. So if I were to click on this door, nothing happens. On this door, nothing happens. But if you click on every door, there's actually a chance that one of them, it's guaranteed that one of them will take you to another website if you click multiple times. So it's randomized as to which one it is. But you see, it says find the safe code, which is exactly what we need. And if you look over here, you can see there's actually text glitching right here, or something like that. So, if I were to screenshot this, and take a photo of it, and then go to Pixlr, the photo editor, and go to Pixlr Express, and then paste the image in, and I were to up the brightness all the way, and up the exposure all the way, we'd get a bunch of numbers. So, you're going to want to write these numbers down, save them, and then go turn off, and you're going to go back into the store, and find your way to the 5 out of 5 door that you opened now. And if we were to go down, go here, and you could input your numbers. So before you do that, you want to make sure when you input them, you do not want to click on the key. What I mean by that is when I open the safe, there will be a key. And when I click on that key, it will initiate a chase. So I am warning you, do not click on the key until you've either watched a guide or think you're ready. So I'm just going to cut to when I enter the right code. Okay, so once you have the code, you're going to open this. And it's going to open the safe. I knew something would change. So, be careful. You're not going to go ahead. Instead, you're going to wait, and you're going to watch what I'm going to do. And then you're going to do it, because you do not want to die here. You're going to spend another 25 minutes getting back. So, you ready? Okay. So, just follow what I do. Okay? Found the mysterious key. Huh? Okay, hold W. I need to get out of here, it says. Okay, keep on going, keep on going. Go straight, go. Okay, go up the ladder here. Watch out here, go on the boxes. Get on the boxes. Go here. Go into the hole. Go through here. Go up the stairs, go down, go here. Go. Hey, be careful here. Go on this ladder. Avoid this hole. Avoid that. Okay, go. Be careful, be careful. Go through the ladder. Okay. Okay, now go. Okay, go. Keep on going. Go across this plank. Go across this. Go through here. Go through these doors. Okay, now go through here. Now go into this. You're gonna fall down. Okay, don't worry. Keep on going. Go up the ladder. Go through, and then... Hey, go through here. Go through. Go through. Go through. And you did it. Hey. Welcome. Welcome to the boss fight. Okay, so before we go into this, this is a two-part boss fight. The first part is a zombies wave boss fight. And it is basically just like it's 15 waves, and you get a check. You have a certain amount of lives, and you can gain lives actually. The second part is the harder part. It is a longer boss fight that you kind of just have to YOLO because there's no health counter. And it's gonna be hard. It's gonna be frustrating, but it's really cool. And yeah, so I might take a while doing this. So if you see me complaining or I have to cut to there's a cut right after this, then you know this took me a while. Anyways, let's go into it. So holding onto the sword. Get ready. Okay, so you can hold this to charge the sword. You can double click the dash, or just click fast. It's gonna display the wave counter above your head, or on the top of the screen. You can have a combo in the left-hand corner of your screen. You just need to dash through and just get them. My strategy for this first part is just to dash. Click these. By hitting the orb. By holding down on the sword to charge. Try keeping your combo, by the way. Keeping your combo is really important. This song's so good. Oh, okay, my screen froze. Okay. Okay, this is important. Okay, there's gonna be a giant monster that's coming. Okay, go over here. And then you're gonna go look for the monster, and then you're just gonna go dash straight towards it, throw the projectile. Keep charging your sword. Get that combo going. Okay, you just want to keep on throwing your projectile sword at it. And then whenever a white square pops up, you're just gonna go straight for it. Okay. Hey. There we go. Okay, you're gonna keep on going. Keep on clicking on the white orb. Keep on. Wave 12 is 60. There's a lot of stuff. Okay, here we go, wave 13. Keep on staying alive. That was background noise. Oh shoot. Okay, come on. Okay. Okay, here we go. Here's the actual boss. Who are you? Who am I? Oh, there's one actually right. Here we go. Okay, keep on going. Alright, remember to charge your sword. The strat is to keep a combo going. Strat is to just keep the combo going by charging. You have to wait a bit in between charging babble. Take just a little bit of time. Okay, where is it? Okay, watch out. When this laser attack goes, you just have to run around in a circle. Because you want to keep on doing that. Hold your sword. Charge. You're gonna go to the center. If you notice your health draining, you're gonna go to the center. Because that means instead of despawns little enemies. At some point, you should spawn a giant monster. You're gonna want to watch out for that. Okay, go down. Okay, there's a monster. There's a monster. There's a monster. There's a monster right there. Keep on going for it. Watch out for the laser attack. Okay, there's one of my lives lost, but it's okay. Okay. Go back. Okay, you're gonna go charge your sword again. Running in a circle. Okay, here's the desperation phase. Just hold on for a little bit longer. I'm gonna do this attack. You're gonna keep on throwing your sword. Keep on doing it. You're gonna go back, make sure that nothing's spawning. Okay. 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 Now you gotta grab the sword. Oh no, it's taken. I will find you, you will pay for this, all this stuff. Here, buddy. So all these tabs. Okay, run around in a circle now. You're gonna go over, get the sword. And then you're gonna run around in a circle, because he's gonna do one last hard attack. Never mind, I lied. Here we go. And that, my friends, that is how you get MyHouse.Chom. So just admire the little area. You'll see the little red things there. Is the water. And go on. Get it. Whew. Thank you for watching, guys. It took a long time to record. It is quite a long chomik. So anyways, thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.